We go to Denver, Colorado, where Boris is on the line. Boris, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help today?
So, a little background here. Went through college, graduated with a criminal justice degree. But when I got out, I really didn't know what to do with a degree, and so I ended up basically getting a call center job, which I jumped from one call center job to the next for the next 10 years without really a set goal of where to go. And now I'm almost 34 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, I finally got out of a call center job and went into a kind of delivery driver type position. But it's not something that I can foresee doing in the long term.
What do you see?
I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, I understand you're stuck, but I want to know if there's something you do see, something you've always wondered about, and does it have any connection to why you got a criminal justice degree?
Well, I've always wanted to help people. I mean, I think it's what led me to the customer service field of call centers in general. I took care of my grandparents as they aged, and I thought about nursing as an option, but because the criminal justice degree itself was a much easier degree, there wasn't much math involved.
Okay, so there's no criminal justice, there's no passion for criminal justice work. It was just an option that leads to this big bucket of helping people. The reason you're stuck is because you've never identified, or if you did identify, you've forgotten that you identified who you most want to help. Who are the people you most want to help? Describe the problem they have, because this answers the second question. What problem do you most want to solve? Or what solution do you get really excited about? Because there's no question you love people and you love to serve people. You're a servant. My guess is you're high on compassion and empathy. Is that true or false?
That's true.
Okay. So maybe for the first time ever, Boris, I want you to shut down your brain because it is limiting you. It is telling you a story of fear. It is telling you a story of doubt. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to shut those voices down for a moment and just think about what your heart's been telling you or has always told you. And I want you to just talk to me. I don't want you to think, I want you to feel. If I could give you a great job tomorrow, risk-free, meaning you knew you were going to succeed at it, it was a fun adventure, doesn't mean you have to spend the next 30 years of your life doing it. It just means, Ken, I think I'd love to try this tomorrow if I knew I was going to be great at it so that I could figure out if this is really it. Who would you want to help? How would you help them? Say it.
Well, I would like to help students and college kids.
How? How would you help them?
Well, I had this idea about a few years ago, but it's Dave Ramsey and Anthony O'Neill's kind of taken off of it, which is great, to essentially provide a path for students to understand how to get through college in a cheaper and better way. Because I went through the issue of, no one really helped me figure out, why did I choose criminal justice? Why did I take the path thinking that I just needed a college degree? And
okay. How would you?
A nonprofit.
Okay, maybe a nonprofit, but let's talk about something a little bit more practical, because starting a nonprofit is, while very admirable, that's something you would have to do incrementally because that takes fundraising, and that's a whole different ball of wax. What if you were in a situation where you could be a guidance counselor on the high school level, or even at the community college level, where you were getting these kids on the front end?
Right.
And you were using some Ken Coleman material and some Dave Ramsey material and saying, hey, let's figure out what it is you're supposed to really do with your life. And then let me show you that there are a lot of ways to do this without incurring massive college debt or spending 4 years getting a degree that you don't want and you can't use.
Right. And I think and maybe you help me out with this in regards to this issue, what about, the living aspect of it? Because counselors, they don't make a lot of money. They do it because they love it.
Yeah.
So how would you?
How would I what?
Like, when you went into broadcasting, did you believe in the idea that hey, I'm going to be able to make a living at it.
I knew I would be able to make a living at it, but I didn't know how good a living it would be. I really didn't, but it didn't matter. I think you just hit on the point. You're kind of making my point for me. I love when somebody preaches at themselves and I get to be in the choir going, amen, all right, say that again, woo, because you just preached to yourself. Do you love the idea of guiding, counseling others? Because let me give you some data, not just an opinion. The Ramsey Solutions team did the largest study of net worth millionaires last year and turned it into a book for Chris Hogan that came out in January of this year entitled Everyday Millionaires. The third largest group of net worth millionaires in the United States are teachers. Teachers are not making a lot of money. They are the answer to your question for yourself. They love teaching. And so they have decided to live on less than they make, so they don't live in the neighborhood that they probably dream of living in. They certainly don't live in their dream home. They probably don't drive their dream car. But they would say, I am in a dream job, and I am a net worth millionaire because I live on less than I make. I've sacrificed, I've saved, I've been diligent. And when I put my head down on the pillow at night, not only am I secure financially, I feel significant. So does that answer your question, Boris?
Yes, I believe it does.
Okay. I know it does, and I think you've got some homework to do. What are the multiple ways you can do what you want to do? Now, this is the exercise, and I want you to write the question down just the way I said it, because it's one thing to kind of get fired up on the phone with me, but then you got to go back to your real life, and then when you get quiet in a room and your brain starts trying to fight with your heart, the brain kind of wins a lot of times. So let me give you some practical brain stuff that will then allow your heart to override your brain and they get on the same page. What are all the ways that you can guide young people? You've already identified your why. You want to help them avoid what you went through. Great. That's a great why. You want to help guide people to be who they are. Great. Welcome to the team. You're part of the Ken Coleman Show mission. Great. I need as much help as possible. So who is it that you want to guide? You gave us an answer on that. High school, college age. Great. You got that. How could you guide them? So essentially you're going, how many different ways, positions would allow me to be in my sweet spot and do that work which matters to me? Once we identify those, we go, okay, what is it going to take to get qualified? So you're in the get clear stage. Then we got to get qualified so that I can move into stage 3 and get hired, right? Then the next stage, you get in, you're hired. Now you want to get better. The better you get, the more you get promoted. When you get promoted, you will work your way up the ladder and step into the dream job, something you didn't even necessarily think was possible, but you wondered about, and then it becomes your reality. This is the clear path for you.